Hi, I'm a dog in South Korea, and today I'm going to give you a peek inside my life. For most who enter this world, the first day on planet Earth is a happy one, filled with love and celebration, and for the really lucky ones, a warm blanket, a family, and a home. But for me, that day was far from joyful. My life started inside of a freezing cold wire cage on a dog farm in South Korea, where dogs are bred and raised for meat. The cage was covered in poo that was so old it had built up in hard piles around the cage, and it smelled horrible. My mom was too weak, cold, and sick to take care of me well. My siblings and I would desperately try to drink her milk, but she had little to give. One day, Mom stopped moving altogether. I nudged her again and again, trying to get her to respond, but she didn't. Day after day, she became less like Mom and more like the grub that was collecting in the cage. This is where I grew up. About once a day, a man came to feed us, but our food came straight out of the garbage can. There are things in there that I didn't want to eat. Sometimes we were fed sick chickens who were still alive, dead pigs, or even our own friends, other dogs. This was my life, day in and day out, through the blazing hot sun, the wet rain, and the icy snow. The wire cage didn't protect me from the elements at all, and of course I didn't get a blanket to keep warm. After growing up in these awful cages for a full year, never experiencing the outdoors or what it's like to run or even to be clean, a man pulled me out of my cage and violently crammed me into an even smaller transport crate with like 12 other dogs. All of our bodies were contorted and I could barely breathe. There was howling and barking all around me, and I was in such terrible pain. Then they started shoving this pipe into our cage to try and make more room for more dogs. The dog next to me let out a huge scream as he was jabbed by the pipe, and he started to bleed. Then they grabbed our cage and they threw it onto the truck like a crate of potatoes, and we landed on top of countless other cages stuffed with dogs. We were all completely immobile and without any idea why or what would happen next. Hour after hour ticked by as we bumped along in the car without food or water. 20 hours later, we were still in this cage.